Hey guys, I recently made a video about Dogewheel. I talked about 3 patterns that indicate it could be really successful, but this is dependent on them communicating well, on being transparent, and on, living up to a certain standard of integrity. And I'm not saying yet that the jury's out on them not doing that, but I did sell all my holdings and I wanted to share why. You guys got to understand, I know a lot of people will be upset. I get a lot of dislikes when I make an honest video review like this and I call into question, a project that maybe you're holding tokens in, but you got to understand, you've got to remove emotion and understand that the value that I bring to the market is just transparent communication about what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. I don't get paid to promote projects. I get approached all the time. I only have 8,000 subscribers, but they're legitimate subscribers. And a lot of times I get as many or more likes and comments on my videos than people who show that they have 50,000 or more subscribers, because mine are legit. I don't do any paid promotions. I don't do paid AMAs. Everything here is because I believe in the project or I'm just sharing the value. And so I feel it's my duty to share when I see questions that aren't being answered. So I'm going to run through some things that are concerning about Dogewheel. I'm also going to, give a shout out to our community that's been watching the team behind this project for a while. They were behind Kitty Cake, they were behind Zushi. And if something isn't proven or substantiated, I don't give it any weight. I take note of it because I might look at their future projects with a greater level of critical thinking, but I don't give it weight unless I can prove or substantiate something. I can't prove or substantiate that any shenanigans are happening other to call into question what we don't know that's not being revealed to us, or at least I couldn't find it. They wouldn't answer my questions. They know I'm the top influencer promoting them right now. I don't get paid. I have the #1 video for Dogewheel. I saw that the devs saw my questions. If they can't answer my questions, why not just say, hey, so-and-so will get back to you tomorrow, but nothing. That's a violation of my criteria for holding a token. And that's why I sold. Again, I haven't proven that there's anything really, I don't know, scammy going on yet, but the questions that I'm asking are legitimate. And I think you're going to see why I have made the decision that I did by them ignoring my questions. And if you guys can find the answers to these questions, again, I know some people are going to be upset about this. So I might turn the likes and dislikes off, but I'll leave the comments on so you can come share with me the answers to these questions. And then we can, clear the air on this. So let's go look at how. Well, first, let's look at what the price chart did since I made my last video. My last video was right here, and you can see the price was somewhere around 0.76 when I was shooting the video. I released it right afterwards. So there was opportunities to still profit. 7.6 would have been somewhere around here. So I made the video somewhere around here. And I was posting about this being an exciting project somewhere around here when it was really low. It would have been a 4 or 5x from there. I didn't get my video out to somewhere around here. And so it still would have been an easy 2x, and you would have had a long time to be able to get that 2x. And I just want to say, for those in our tribe community, you should be taking profits. If you don't have a lot of resources, if you haven't just made a killing yet in these pre-sales, you should be taking profits where and how you can. Just because I ever say, hey, this one looks like has potential to do, a 50x or whatever, if you don't have a lot of resources, you just take the short-term gains until you've collected enough to be able to hold some of those. Because whenever you hold, there's always risks. I keep saying the crypto criteria that we use to assess these projects, we keep assessing, and it can change. Like in our tribe Discord, we talk about this all the time. Something can change. It can look great, look great, look great. And then all of a sudden the devs drop the ball, and you should still be able to profit significantly in bad projects. I profited significantly in Kitty Cake, which ended up, ending poorly. That's the same team that's here. And people were all caught up in the drama. I'm like, look, I already profited. I was out before that drama. And there are some projects I'll hold, but only if I see them just nailing our criteria, and communication, especially with influencers, is one of them. So they kind of blew it here. Now, if somebody wants to reach out to me and explain to me why they were ignoring my question, the questions I'm going to ask here, I'm still open. I'm always open. But I got to see solid communication, especially with influencers, to hold a project long term. And when you're not taking care of your influencers that are your #1 promoters, who aren't even being paid for promoting, it gets a little bit weird. So here's, let's talk about this. So here's a transparent arrangement. You want to know, like, when people are buying the token, You want to know what's going on. And a typical project, SafeMoon did a really good job with it. That's why they're so successful. Here's just an example. So somebody buys a token. This isn't Dogewheel, by the way. This is another project. I won't name it. I don't want to confuse things, but it's just a typical type of tokenomics. When someone buys the token, in this example, 4% would go to the liquidity pool. Goes towards the liquidity so that, if you go to PancakeSwap and you want to sell your token, there's something there to sell it with. And so every time a token gets sold, 4% goes to liquidity. That's an example. Some tokens do more, some tokens do less, but this is an example. 4% might go to the liquidity pool. In this other example, 4% goes to reflection. So holders get 4% of what every buy and sell that comes in on the tax. They would see a growing amount of those tokens that because they're holding. 2% would go to the marketing wallet. A 1% would go to the dev wallet for them to use for development. So again, this is an example. The numbers can be a little bit different, but we usually know exactly. In fact, we always know, except for with Dogewheel, and I'm going to show you why. We always have known the tokenomics, and we always have known if someone buys or sells, where's the tax going towards? Is it just going to people's pockets? So they're basically siphoning without telling us transparently where it's going? No, usually we know exactly. And here's an example of where the tax might be split up, and we know. And the key is we know, so we get to decide. In this example, it was 11% total tax. You might add a little bit more for slippage, right? Well, with Dogewheel's arrangement, it's not so clear. And this is the first time I've seen this. Now, if you guys know the answer to the question I'm about ready to raise, please let me know. And, I'm still open to the project, although they're going to need to fix this issue with communication. It's just not, you can't build a successful project ignoring your influencers like that. But let's look at this arrangement. So they've got the regular tokenomics, but they also have money coming in, purchasing the token through the wheel. And that's where things get fuzzy. It's like, where's all that money going? So we do know the tokenomics when people just go to PancakeSwap and they buy Dogewheel token with BNB. Over here, we know that 5% of the tax, we know there's a 5, 6, 7, 8% total tax. 5% goes to the marketing wallet. So we assume there's going to be a lot of marketing. 2% goes to the jackpot fund. So they're actually taking a percentage of every buy and sell from PancakeSwap or PooCoin. Every time someone buys the token directly, they're taking 2% of every from the tax to put towards funding this jackpot, which is really interesting because, again, people are also buying tickets. You'd think they would be funding the jackpot also from over there, but we don't know. But we know that 2%, when people buy the token, 2% goes to the jackpot fund for when people spin the wheel, 1% goes towards liquidity. I got that from the website right here. So what we don't know, which is why there's a big question mark over here, is what happens when people are buying the token when they buy tickets from the wheel. So for those that don't know, you can also buy the token by spinning the wheel. You buy tickets with BNB. You go to the site, you buy tickets with BNB. So you're handing BNB over to the owners of Dogewheel to buy tickets to spin the wheel. And they said on the live chat, I was on the live chat yesterday, someone asked this question directly, and they said that all of it goes to buy the Dogewheel token. And I was like, And then someone was trying to dig a little bit deeper, and they said, well, I think there's a $1 charge for every transaction because we have a third party who's managing that for us, so that there's no, not any any question of us double dipping or whatever. We have a third party managing these transactions. And that's where it got a little wonky. It's like, okay, who's this third party? Is it their friend? Like, who's managing this? And what was that? and he didn't seem confident in his answer that $1 of every charge when you buy a ticket, they're taking, this so-called third party is taking. So what it basically comes down to, guys, is so far we don't know when all this BNB that's being spent and people think it's to, that all of this is going to increase the price of the token. When I buy the Dogewheel token, initially, and based on that answer in the live chat, I'm assuming that everybody who's playing the wheel, which is basically a utility that's wrapped up into the potential price increase of this of Dogewheel token. I'm assuming, based on their answer, of course, and I think a lot of people are, that when people are spending BNB to spin the wheel, that BNB the smart contract is using all of that to buy Dogewheel token. But what it looks like is happening is they're pocketing a tremendous amount of that BNB that's being used to spin the wheel. But that's not being disclosed to us. And worse yet, if that's true, they're not being honest directly when being asked about it on a live chat. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And as of yesterday, I didn't even make that assessment. But the further we go down this path, the more time that goes by where there's not clarity on this, the more it looks like that's the case. And again, I don't have any problem with them being transparent, even to say, you know what, we're not going to disclose. Maybe they want to say, we're not going to disclose what we're doing with all that BNB. But they shouldn't be saying, oh yeah, all of that BNB that goes towards purchasing the wheel is going, wheel tickets to spin, is going towards buying Dogewheel token. If that's not the case, but they're saying that, which they said on the live chat, that's bad, right? Because we're buying in Dogewheel. We're buying Dogewheel, assuming that everyone who plays this utility spin the wheel lottery, that's all increasing the value of Dogewheel. But if they're pocketing a huge percentage of that, that's not the case. So that's where we're lacking transparency, and it might even be they're literally lying. I'm not saying that they are yet, but the more time that goes by that this doesn't get addressed, the more it looks like it. And so please do find the answer to this question, and let's just clear the air on this. Again, I know a lot of people aren't going to be happy about this video. It had so much going for it. But when you stop communicating with your influencers, especially your top influencer so far, who's promoted you so far, who has the most views on YouTube, who you didn't even have to pay, and I see that one of their top devs is ignoring me. I can see in Telegram when they see I've asked them a question and they don't respond. If they don't know the answer, then just say, we'll get back to you in 2 days. Hey, thanks for what you're doing. But no, maybe they didn't know who I was. Well, you had all these people in their Telegram letting them know who I was and asking them, please answer my question. I was even being courteous and not asking the question directly in the group. I was privately DMing several of them. It's just crazy. And then the fact that the question itself obviously is extremely important for all investors. Now, a lot of investors don't think about these kinds of things. I don't get paid to make these kinds of videos. Instead, I provide real value. And this is the kind of value that I provide, asking the real questions that a lot of people may not think to ask. If you're purchasing Dogewheel because you see what's going on in the market, like Slam Crash was one of the lottery type projects that I referenced as being an indicator of how successful this could become. If you're seeing that these casino lottery projects like Slam are doing really well, like if you would have got in the first couple of days, even if you didn't sell at the peak and you sold now after it dropped significantly, you're like at 30x. Huge success, huge success. And if you're looking at that and you're going, well, it seems like, Dogewheel's in that ballpark. Yeah, if they're playing in integrity, if they're being transparent, if they're building good relationships with influencers, Slam, extremely transparent about how it works. Slam, that's what this chart is here, everyone purchases Slam token directly. No one purchases, through these, well, who knows? Maybe it's going down because they're starting to do the same thing. I mean, I don't own Slam token. Maybe there's something we definitely need to keep our eyes out for. And I'm going to put this out to the tribe. Let's keep our eyes out for these casino lottery projects and see if this is a trend. You know what I mean? Let's see if this is a trend. Are they, I'm just posing the question, are more and more of these projects getting this idea? Maybe it's a new little sneaky little thing, to be taking payment for people playing with the utility and having them kind of siphon off a bunch of that money and have it not a lot of it not directly go to increasing the value of the token, while people are just assuming that all of it would go there. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys kind of find the answer to this. I'm going to reiterate, if you're in our tribe, if you look at this chart, there was plenty of opportunity to profit on this one. I'm going to talk more. We're going to have a live session in 45 minutes with our tribe, our insiders and trial insiders, those who are contributing to our Discord. You can be on that one. I've talked about it a lot. We're going to talk about it again, about how you don't want to, if you're coming in on a fair launch, if something's not doing a pre-sale and it's coming in like Dogewheel did on PancakeSwap, you get this huge spike. Like if you have limited resources, you might just want to sit out and wait for the first dip. It's almost every single time. And yes, sometimes they go to the moon, but more often than not, there's a dip. And after that first first dip, that first major dip, you see a big up spike, especially if there's a lot of marketing momentum, which this had. So we're going to talk about that strategy again. That's a huge predictable way to capitalize on a lot of these projects, even if they turn out not to be long-term. If you're following the strategies properly, if you have a strategy based on probability, not emotion, you know, and that's an example of one that you could stick to, then you're going to consistently have wins. If you have emotion, if you get upset when you find out someone scammed you and all this kind of stuff, if you start having anxiety and you're not sure what your strategy is, that's when you lose. So we're going to talk more in the tribe today about what to do with these fair launches, even if it's a bad project. Let's say these guys turn out to be just siphoning a lot of this BNB. You know, again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving them a few more days for you guys to bring back some good answers to this. Serious answers, solid answers, not BS answers. You know, of where is the tokenomics on the BNB coming in to buy these tickets? Where's that money going? And where's the transparency on that? If let's say we find out they are doing shenanigans, right? You still could have profited on this massively. You know, so you don't even have to know, because how would we know all the details early on when a project first launches? You might have questions, not a lot of answers. You can still profit massively if you have solid strategy. So we're going to talk more about that in Tribe 100X today on the insider calls. It'll be something we continue to talk about. We've talked about before. We'll talk about it more. Those of you who still like the project, please do get back to me on the answers to that question. You know, and I've already reached out to them, so they'll need to get back to me. I'm the top influencer that's promoted this so far without payment, and they haven't bothered to even get back to me or say, hey, we'll find the answer to your question. Where's all this BNB going that is purchasing tickets? Is it all going, as it was said on the live chat, is it all going to purchase Dogewheel, or is it being allocated somewhere else? And another big question, and this was raised on a live chat, someone asked, and this was over 5% of the supply yesterday. So I don't know if they've sold some of this or if just the percentages have changed around, but this was over 5% of the supply. This is an open wallet with over 5% of the supply. That's a lot. And yesterday was over 5%. Now it's down to 4.17%. I don't know what happened to that. Maybe those of you who've been tracking this can let me know in the comment section what happened to that, or why maybe the numbers just changed. I don't think that much more has been purchased to be able to have that percentage change. It looks like some of this has been sold. They had said on the live chat that this was a marketing wallet. Well, if there's a marketing wallet with yesterday it was over 5% holding Dogewheel token, and it's an open wallet, do they plan to sell that Dogewheel token on the open market to use for marketing? Because that would create massive selling pressure. That's unusual and not good for investors. So that's another big question that I'm looking for the answer to, is why is this an open wallet? Is it really a marketing wallet? That's what was definitely said on a live chat. Why wouldn't they be using a wallet with BNB in it? Usually the tax, you know, puts a lot of it into the BNB. I don't know. That's a lot to have in an open wallet. So I'm curious about what you guys have to say about that. But my bigger question stems back to, where's all this BNB going that people are using? When I buy a Dogewheel token, I had heard on the live chat, they said it very directly, that all of that BNB coming in to purchase tickets was going to buy Dogewheel token, which would thus increase the value of Dogewheel token. But if they're pocketing a lot of that, obviously that's not happening. And so where's all that going? Where's the transparency on that? Who's this third party that they talked about in the live chat? We've had a lot of people in our tribe community questioning the integrity and the antics of the same team behind this one who did Zushi and Kitty Cake. I profited massively on Kitty Cake. If you know strategy, you can profit even before you know like where a project's going to go. I don't give a lot of weight to something I can't prove or substantiate. I take it into consideration and will be more critical in my analyzing and assessing of their projects in the future. But if I can't prove something, just because someone says something bad's going on, I don't pay attention to it. But again, here are the facts. I'm their top influencer right now. I have more views on my video than anybody else. I don't even know if anybody else has made a video yet on Dogewheel or of any significant influence. And they wouldn't even get back to me or even say they're planning to get back to me. I saw that they saw my questions. You can see in Telegram when they see your questions. That's not a good sign. And this whole setup isn't a good sign. Where is the transparency on where this BNB is going? And then what's going on with an open wallet that apparently is a marketing wallet that was holding over 5% yesterday that now is only holding 4%. If you guys know the answer to these questions, or you can get the answers back to me, please do. We have some serious questions that need to be answered about Dogewheel.